Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's edition of Illogically Speaking. I am your host, the Logical Lady Jossie. Got my co-host, Vic G. Hello, sir.
Everybody.
And
Good
I'm
to be
sure you
back.
guys, we've been gone for a minute, right? We
Right.
had a week or two off. Like we've had some technical difficulties, but we got it together now. And I'm sure you guys can see another block up there. We have a special guest this week, Miss Barry Clay. Uh,
Hello.
we'll get into this lovely show in just a second, but first I gotta start off. It's Barry's birthday, but it's my guy Vic G's birthday tomorrow. So I just want to give both of you guys a happy birthday because, well,
Aw, thank
Thank
you.
you.
so hope you guys really enjoy whatever festivities you have, and live it up and celebrate another year.
Yes,
Will do.
ma'am.
Will do.
um, Super Bowl Sunday is today, but it's not the same. So it's kind of just like blah.
Right.
Right.
And
Right.
so everybody's doing their
It
own
just
thing
don't
in the
feel
house.
the
All the
same no
chicken
more.
was gone yesterday. I went to like three stores. Chicken was gone. So
Oh
they bought up
no.
all the wings, but I got some, so I'm good. But um,
Oh yeah, that's probably the first thing to go.
yeah, always, chicken. You like chicken? I read somewhere they were selling, like it was like a crazy number. It was like some billions of chicken wings are sold for Super Bowl Sunday. I'm like,
I can imagine. Chicken wings are
Damn.
so expensive. I mean, it's just ridiculous. They are ridiculously expensive compared to other parts of the chicken. It's utterly ridiculous.
Hey man, that's the most American thing next to apple pie.
yeah,
Okay,
you know how we go. You got to drink and have a wing or three. So
this is true.
Yeah.
This is
and
true.
I'm not throwing up next. So anywho, um, our guest today, Barry, is a breast cancer survivor.
Yes,
And this is a very
ma'am.
special and very important show for our people. If not everyone, but I think this one really affects our people in general. Um,
Yeah.
so we're just going to talk about it, talk about your journey, talk about everything,
Okay.
and just get a little bit of insight on what it's like. I think because I don't know anyone that has not at least known someone that has cancer or been affected by cancer.
Right.
So it's just a really
Right.
important show for us all. So before we get into that, Barry, tell us a little bit about Barry before the cancer diagnosis.
I was diagnosed at 40, so very young, very unexpected. Before that, I was always on the go.
Mhm.
Very active. My kids play sports. I work full time. I have a million friends that have a million birthdays and trips, and it, I was always on the go. So cancer just really halted everything, and it really just it's hard to explain. Like it kind of was one day it wasn't a thing, and then the
Mhm.
next day it was everything. And
What? That is,
it's a hard reality to have to face in such a small amount of time.
whew,
So
I
yeah,
can imagine.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so what did you have symptoms prior? Like, what symptoms did you have that made you actually go get checked for
Okay,
cancer?
so this is gonna be a little bizarre. Actually, I was being intimate with my ex,
Okay.
and he noticed that one of my breasts was more firm than the other. I never really had a lump. I didn't have a lump. He just was like feeling around. He was like, one feels different. And I was like, boy, what are you talking about? You know, like that, you know? So I was like, okay, fine. And I'm really adamant about getting my annual woman's checkups. I'm
Right.
adamant about every year since I started a menstrual cycle. Okay, so I had already had my appointment set, so I said, when
Mhm.
I go, I'll have her, feel around and see what she sees. Okay, so probably a month later, went to my woman's appointment. She felt around and instantly she was like, "I don't like the way this feels," and she was like, "Can you clear your schedule today?" And I'm gonna tell you, my doctor, my gynecologist, Dr. Chambers, she's in Dumfries, Virginia.
Mhm.
She is a black woman, amazing. Like she don't
Mhm.
play. She saved my life. She calls me today, and I pray with her. Like
Right.
she's still a part of my journey, even though I haven't seen her. Well, I went to my annual appointment, but other than that, she's not a part of my journey as far as getting healthy.
Mhm.
Um. So anyway, that very day, I went and got the mammogram.
Wow.
From the mammogram, 2 days later, I had a biopsy, and within from the appointment to within 3 days, probably I knew I had cancer. Like it was just that fast. It was literally that fast.
Wow.
So, and then from there, it's you're trying to process it. You're scared to tell people, and for me, it was hard for me to tell people because one, breast cancer killed both of my grandmothers on my mom's side and my dad's
That was
side.
my next question.
So, and I knew once I said it to my family, I knew what it would do. And it's crazy because I hate cancer, but I didn't want to break their heart. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I didn't want to tell them that I had it. So, anyway, after that, it's just a whirlwind of appointments and tests and all this other stuff. So, after they discover you have cancer, you go through pathology where they run your blood and they test your cells to see what type of breast cancer you have. And
Mm-hmm.
I ended up having triple negative breast cancer, which is a very aggressive breast cancer that's non-receptive to hormone therapy, which
Okay.
means that the cancer is not breeding from your hormones, which most cancers do. So, which basically means that it's a harder road to recovery.
Okay.
It's a harder road for them to find out what to kill the cancer with because they don't know what's feeding it. Okay, so that was a big deal. And then I also found out that I tested positive for the breast cancer gene. So that played a part in how I wanted to follow up with my treatment and things like that. So yeah, it was a lot going on within a couple weeks, and my whole life was upside down.
So, quick question. Well, quick thing, interjection. You said both
Sure.
your grandparents had it, your grandmothers had it,
Yeah.
and I guess you said you got it at 40, and that's where they
40.
tell both of us that we should start getting mammograms at 40.
Right.
Was there ever a point prior to that you even thought about getting a mammogram, prior to 40,
No,
just in general because your grandmothers had it?
my doctor, knew my history, obviously, with, on both sides of my family with the breast cancer. So they would, still suggest it. I mean, I was doing my mammograms every year. I
Right.
was still doing it. I think I started at 37,
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it was. But yeah,
And real
so
quick, shout out to the guy because most guys aren't that aware of a woman's
right,
body to even say
right.
something. You know what I mean? Like most guys would just be like, "Oh, well, it's a
And
Tuesday.
it
This
was
one
in
feels
it was in
different."
the, in
Like
the
you
it
just
was
got
like
different
in the
titties.
middle
Like,
of the moment. It wasn't
mhm.
like later on. He was like, "Yeah, no." It was like right in the moment. I was like,
That's
"What?"
dope, though. Like, guys,
Right,
thank you, Victor, for
right. Me,
making
that
this
that
happen. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
We're
Something
still
don't
very
feel right. Let her know.
Right.
Like, this is awesome.
exactly. And me and him are
No,
not
that's
together,
what's
but
up.
I credit him with that all the time. Like, listen, you hit me. You gonna save my life.
Yeah,
Like yeah, most
because you
definitely.
are aware of those things. So,
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it was just something, yeah, that even with my own body that I see all day, every day, that I never noticed because obviously I'm not
Yeah,
doing those. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, and, I mean, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but he noticed. I was like, wow,
So you
okay,
gave a timeline between that moment and then when you went to your regular appointment, I guess like a month or so later.
right.
Did it even cross your mind? Were you at all anxious or nervous? Or did the thought of breast cancer even cross your mind at that moment before you went to the doctor?
It did. It definitely did. But it was like I kind of was like, I'm not going to allow myself to go down that rabbit hole
Mm-hmm.
until they tell me for sure that that's what it is. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and I
And
think,
I'm because if not, it's like I don't want to worry unnecessarily. And in
yeah,
the meantime, my kids still got. I think we moved during that time. Like there was a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? So life still goes on in the
yeah.
meantime. And so I
Mm,
was just trying to stay positive and push forward. And it's like, listen, I'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. But yeah, it definitely crossed my mind. Definitely,
wow. So did they tell
yeah.
you your results like over the phone? Did you have to go in physically? Like how
Oh,
did you?
so they do the results and they call me on a Sunday. When your doctor calls you on a
Listen, on a
Sunday,
Sunday, it's
it is
never good.
not good news. It is not good news. I remember I went to brunch that morning and I got home and I was taking off my clothes and I looked at my phone and I knew the number and I was like, yeah, this is about to ruin my day. And I just answered the phone and I knew what it was. I knew it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no doctor calls you on a Sunday with some good stuff. Right. So yeah, yep.
So they
Yep.
call you.
So
Go ahead, babe.
so what was that emotion like?
Right.
Finding
It
out that
it was
initial emotion.
the initial emotion was more or less like I wasn't scared at first, to be honest with you. I was more or less like, okay, what now? Like, what do we do now? That was my initial emotion. It hadn't like quite hit me yet. At first, it was more or less like, okay, what do we do now? And then as I started to look into treatment and what that would look like and what it would do to me working and what it would do to like what my family would see me as, or what it would do to my body, what it would do to my appearance, then it started to be like, okay, this is real. Like this is really going to change up some things. You know what I mean? So that's when it started to hit me when we started to treatment. It was like, okay, wow, this is really
Wow. So you have
be quiet. Sorry, my dog.
that's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
You have two boys. Now, how old were your boys
Two sons.
when you were that? Sorry,
At the time, oh no, I'm sorry. My oldest son was, so he's 21 now, so he was 19,
okay.
and my youngest son was
Oh
12.
gosh.
And yeah, so I told my oldest son
Hmm.
first, and he took it very hard, and that made me not want to tell my youngest son at all. So it took me a while to tell. I actually didn't tell my youngest son until I actually had already started chemo, and it was like, listen, some things about me are about to change, and I can't hide it. I mean, you're going to see it, and so I have to, tell him. I can't hide it
Wow.
from him. He lives with his room is next door to
Right.
mine. He's going to see some things physically change with me, and I'm going to have to come with it. But my oldest son took it very, very hard. He did. He
Wow.
did. I mean, we laid in the bed and cried all day. Like, it was hard. And
And
I've never seen him like that.
he kept it from your other son. Like you let him know
Yeah.
that you didn't want him to know at that point.
Yeah, because I was like, I wanted to tell him myself, but I
Hmm.
was still trying to figure out. And I mean, there is no way to tell him,
Yeah.
but just to tell him,
Yeah.
But as a mom, you want to protect your kid. So it did. I didn't tell him until I had already started chemo. So it was probably maybe a couple weeks before I told him. Because you start chemo really quickly. I mean, it's a quick process, So, yeah, I was diagnosed beginning of September. I started chemo October 1st. So
Oh.
yeah, it's a quick process. Yeah. Yeah.
So what is chemo like? Like tell us what going through
Ooh,
chemo is like.
child.
Some people think that you just go in and you get some radiation and you leave out. Like, no, what is the process
Okay,
of
so
chemo like?
chemo is just chemo could be a lot of things.
Hmm.
Chemo is a combination of different drugs that they come up with to try to fight cancer.
Hmm.
So when I first started chemo, I was on a very aggressive amount of drugs that was really killing everything healthy that was going on with me.
Oh
So
God.
it really broke my body down. I did chemo and literally 2 days later my hair started to fall out. Like that's how strong it was. So I had my oldest son shave my head because I was like, I don't want to watch my hair fall out. That's very traumatic.
Hmm.
And it's awful. Before I was asking my doctors, I was like, "What does chemo feel like?" Because you see all the, you see the people on their deathbed, or they look like they're
Yeah.
dying, and they were like, "Well, it could feel as bad as the flu." And to be honest with you, I've never had the flu, so I was like,
Okay.
"Okay, you're right." Like I've had strep. Like, does it feel like
Mhm.
that? You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm asking. And so at first it wasn't that bad. I was doing when I started my first rounds, I was doing them every other week.
Okay.
So, and they give you like a cocktail of drugs to help with the side effects. So you
Hmm.
do that. It takes about 2 hours. You sitting in there doing nothing. I'm watching TV or whatever, and then you start to feel like hell probably after like 1 or 2 days. Like
Wow.
can't get out of bed. It feels like hell. And the crazy part is, so you have a week off, so your body starts to rebuild and recover, but then boom, the next week it's time to start all over again.
Yeah.
And so whereas from you're starting at 100 on your first round, the
Hmm.
second round you're starting even less because your body hasn't fully recovered from the first round. So you're starting from 80, and then you're starting at 60, and then by the last you're just there's nothing left. Like you have nothing left. Like my hair fell out, my fingernails turned brown, my skin was very dry. Like there's a whole lot of side effects that go with chemo, and they're right when they say if the disease don't get you, the chemo will.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. I get it. And I did 17 rounds of chemo.
Ooh. Ooh. Right.
17. But
Here
I
we go.
also worked the whole time.
That was
Like,
my next question.
yeah.
Like, what was your regular life like going through all of this? You still had
Let me tell you,
kids
I'm a
three?
fighter. I don't take nothing laying down. So
Mm,
I would fight. I was doing elderberry, or I was doing all kinds of natural stuff on top of the chemo. Like, I
okay.
was trying any and everything to get my body back to the point where I could function. And most of it actually worked. Like, I was still able to go to work. I was still able to go to my son's basketball games. I was putting on a wig, and most of the people didn't even know what was going on.
Child, we
Like,
in fashion now, so like
yeah,
we're fashionable.
yeah, I was like, oh, right, everybody got a wig, right? So I was learning different things. I was speaking, but I'm not going. I don't want to glorify it because it
Right,
was rough. It
right.
was. There were some days where I'm just like, please, you know what I'm saying? Like, please. But then you have your days where you feel good and you want to do things, but. It was tough, but it was a fight. Yeah, and I did chemo. I was doing chemo. I did chemo all together for about 9 months.
Ooh,
It was a long, and I do chemo now. I just take a pill.
okay.
So yeah, so I'm still doing chemo. It's just a pill right now. So I got my port out. Thank you. That's where it used to be right there. They took
Uh-huh.
it out, so I'm good with that. But yeah, chemo is ooh child. If they can't cure it, they have to find another way. Another way.
Mm.
Um,
So how did it affect your boys watching you go through that?
um
I know it had to be somewhat of a helpless feeling, being that they're seeing you down like that, and there's nothing they can do for their mother.
Yeah, which was tough, and I felt very guilty about, which sucks. You know what I'm saying? But I think it made them grow up. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, my youngest son learned how to do his own laundry.
Hey, hey.
There certain ways. Listen, they just had to step up, and I mean, if anything, it brought us closer.
Mhm.
My youngest son, he went to a chemo. Well, no, he I actually was going to bring him to chemo with me, but I didn't want him in school. But they wanted to be involved in the
Mm.
process. They wanted to know, what was going on. Unfortunately, COVID killed a lot of that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
We weren't allowed to bring people and stuff like that. My mom actually went
Right.
to my first chemo, but
So you were going through chemo during COVID, like that adds a whole nother level of,
yeah, I had my surgery during COVID, and
oh my goodness.
Mm.
they had to,
Mm.
my kids had to just drop me off and hope for the best. The good thing
Gee.
about it was, though, I didn't have to stay at the hospital because they didn't want me to
Oh,
get infected.
Right.
to
So they
put
were
you out
like,
the hospital.
goodbye. Right. They did my
Gee.
surgery and they just pushed me out in the street. I was like, cool. Right. They didn't want me at the hospital at all. So there was a little benefit to it. But yeah, COVID and dealing with it sucks. Yeah,
When
definitely.
COVID hit, and you were still going through all this, did it bring, do you think it brought an extra amount of fear in you, like just because you were more susceptible to, you know, a
It
disease or a bother, but you had to be a little bit more careful or anything?
It definitely did. The funny part is I've been in quarantine since I started chemo. So,
Oh,
because
okay.
because your body is so broken down,
Open.
you have to stay
Hmm.
away from people. So I've been in my own little quarantine anyway. And I was funny because I was talking to my girlfriend yesterday, and I was like, COVID actually helped me because I wasn't doing nothing anyway. And being that y'all can't do anything, I don't have to feel bad like I'm missing anything because nobody's doing anything. So it actually
Right.
helped my cause.
No,
But yeah, COVID definitely just added another layer to it. I started working from home more because I just couldn't be exposed to people like that.
yeah.
So yeah, my job was able to work around it and things like that and help me out, which is amazing. They always looked out for me. But yeah, COVID is a whole other beast. I mean, luckily now my immune system is pretty much back to where it was. So
Hmm.
I haven't let my guard down though. I don't want to get comfortable. Don't get me
Right.
wrong. But as
Right.
far as I think, if I was to catch COVID right now, I'd be okay. Like, I'd be able to fight it off because I'm pretty healthy. Yeah,
Okay. Good. That's
yeah. Thank you.
cool.
Thank
I,
you.
like, okay, so this is a little personal, but
Oh, sure.
dating during this, I know you probably weren't dating during the process, or how does that work?
I
Trying to
was,
explain to some,
girl.
oh, yeah, girl, shit. How does
I
that work? Explain
was.
to someone that, okay, I'm sick, I have this illness, this is going to be rough, and or trying to meet someone new, or unless there was something
Right.
established. before.
For the most part, everybody knew. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
There was a very few people that I started to interact with that didn't already know what was going on with me.
Okay.
And for me, it wasn't like I just didn't want to tell a lot of people because I don't. When you tell people you have cancer, they look at you like,
Oh, how long you got?
right? Are you right? Like I just had, I'm about to die. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I don't like that interaction. So that's why I
Mhm.
don't. You know what I mean? But for the most part, everybody that I was dating, they already knew what was going on. So yeah.
If you keep that, everybody I was dating. I'm sure.
I keep a roster. No, I'm just,
Aquarius mind state.
listen. Hello, okay.
Um, so besides chemo, what other type of treatment did you have to go through?
I did immunotherapy,
Hmm.
which is bizarre because when you do immunotherapy, it kind of throws your body into overdrive because so you don't sleep.
Oh.
You sweating. I mean, it's because your body is working twice as hard.
Hmm.
It's a weird thing to go through. I mean, I had to do it, and it did help because it helps boost your immune system. But it's like your body is in overdrive, so you're sweating sometimes. You're not sleeping all the time. Like I only had to do it for a month though, but it definitely did help. Yeah. So yeah, that was probably about the weirdest thing. Yeah, and then yeah, that was definitely the weirdest thing.
Have you had to change your diet, like and things like that? Because I know some people that through chemo they just couldn't your
Yeah.
body. Oh, that's the hard part. Like she like,
That is the tough. Let me tell you. So most people on chemo lose weight. I never really
Mhm.
experienced that because she likes to eat. I can't. Loss of appetite was not something that happened to me.
Really?
I was waiting, you know what I'm saying, whatever, to lose me a good 20 pounds or 40 pounds.
Right.
Right.
Nope, nope, never happened. I was eating like crazy. I only felt nauseous probably one time during the
Oh.
whole your girl likes to eat. So yeah, and you home ain't nothing else to do but eat. So I
Hmm.
tried to be better,
Hmm.
but sweets, that's my that's gonna be my downfall. I
That's
love
good.
sweets. I
That's so
can't.
good. That's
I'll give
good.
up meat before I give up sweets. Like yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So,
go ahead.
so how did this whole experience shape or reshape your whole spiritual outlook on life?
I think for me, it was something that I needed to go through.
Mm.
When I think about some of the, I can we curse? I don't want to slip up and say anything
No,
Yeah.
crazy,
you
Oh
can
no.
but
curse.
Listen.
No,
Listen.
okay.
say what you want.
When I look back on some of the bullshit that I used to worry about or
Hmm.
concern myself with or even entertain, it's
Hmm.
just like, girl, life is so short. You know what I mean? So if anything, it made me realize just how important things are and how precious life is because I used to worry about a lot of shit, whether it was work stuff, bullshit stuff, and it's like, you know what, when your health is on the line, nothing else matters. Nothing.
At all.
If I
Mm.
don't wake up tomorrow, none of this shit matters. You know what I'm saying? So it
Right.
becomes a fight for your life. And when you're fighting for your life and you log on to social media and you see some of the bullshit that people be talking about, it puts
Hmm.
everything into perspective.
Hmm.
Everything into perspective. And I try to explain it to people who have not experienced anything close to this. But it's like, the thought of not seeing my kid graduate or not becoming a grandmother or not seeing them get married, like that's a different type of fear. Like it's some shit. I mean, like because my diagnosis and everything happened so fast. I woke up one day. I was gallivanting through life like nothing. You know what I'm saying? I can't be
Right.
touched. There's nothing. You know what I'm saying? And the next day, I'm like, damn. I may really not see them grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like it changes everything about everything that you do. It really does. You will. It makes you appreciate every second, and it's so cliche. It is so cliche,
It's
but
true.
it's true.
Yeah.
It is true. I remember when I was first diagnosed, and this was probably like right after I shaved my head, because I remember being in the shower, and I would take a shower, and that's where I would go, and I would just cry, and I would just beg God to just please give me a chance to fight for my life. I'm
Hmm.
not asking for much. Just give me a chance. Just if you open the door just a little bit, that's all I need. because I'm gonna fight the rest of the way. Like, just give me a chance. That's all I wanted. And you find out who your peoples are when you go through shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, for real. Like, for real, for real. I have an amazing circle of people that want to see me win just for the sake of seeing me win. Like, no motives. They're not holding anything over my head. They're not doing anything for likes or posting it. So much shit that has been done for me behind the scenes that nobody know about. I am so blessed and so grateful. So grateful. So for that alone, I'm grateful for my journey.
Indeed. Well, you talk about doing things behind the scenes. Did you ever feel like you had to kind of hide or not be as vulnerable for people to see exactly what you're going through? Did you feel like you had to be strong for others around you and kind of hide
Oh yeah,
the funny thing?
being vulnerable is tough for us Aquarians. That- that's just the inner struggle that I've always had.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do with my close friends. They know me. They know
Mm-hmm.
my struggles. I don't hide from them. But some of like I'm an only child.
Okay.
Okay, so and my mom, she watched her mom succumb to this disease. Okay, so with my mom, I'm very calculated, let me
Mm-hmm.
say, with some of things that I share with her because I don't want to scare her. I
Right.
don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
That has
don't
to be
want her, you know what I mean? Like, I'm her only child, and the thought of burying her only child
from something
has
that she
taken,
lost her mother to.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I'm very conscious of that. And, but
Mm-hmm.
I've learned, but she's the only person that I'll probably treat like that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, this is my
It is what it
journey.
is.
So
It is what
I gotta worry about me. You know what I'm saying, or whatever.
it
But with my mom, it's different. But
is. Mm-hmm.
everybody else, they get it. You know what I'm saying? They understand. Like, if you don't hear from me for a week, I'm asleep. I'm tired. I don't want to talk.
Mhm.
They don't take it personal. They never have. So you gotta surround yourself with those people that really accept you for what you are, who you are.
Amen. Was
Yeah.
what's it called? Mastectomy? Was that ever a
Yes.
thought or option or
I've
what
I-
was?
I've had a double mastectomy. Yes.
Oh, so I'm looking. I'm like, I still see boobies there. So
Yes. Yes. But I have had a double mastectomy because I carry the BRCA gene.
got
There's
it.
a 60% chance that it will reoccur, and I can't
Okay.
go through this again. One time is plenty.
So when
So
you had
even
it was only in one, but you got both
yes,
removed just for preventative
it was only in my right, but
mm-hmm,
I removed both because I'm like, we're not doing this again. Yeah.
as a
So
precaution.
yep,
That
sure
is really
did.
disciplinary. Wow. What was
Yeah.
that
Yep.
decision like? Like, was it just like, hey, get rid of it? Or was there any vanity involved in that? Because, as women, how we are
Oh
about our bodies and our bosoms and
yeah.
our butts and things like that. Was there any, were you self-conscious about it? Or have you ever looked in the mirror and said, oh, fuck, like, I'm not a woman. You know
Of
what I mean? How some
course.
people
Well,
feel?
yeah, of course. I've had all of that, but the thought
Not being here.
of yeah, like as soon as we discussed it, like what the results were from my genealogy,
Mm-hmm.
I knew then. I was like, that's yeah, like we're doing it. There's no question about it. So when I did the surgery, it actually wasn't even that bad. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I did the surgery. Right now, I have tissue expanders in, and
Okay.
then I actually have a consultation with a plastic surgeon tomorrow
Yes.
because I'm gonna go get implants. So yeah, like let me tell you, there's so many things they could do today
Yeah.
like they just titties. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they tried to kill me. You gotta go. You know what I'm saying? It never crossed my mind to for
Serious.
anything else. Like y'all gotta go. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that. It
This
ain't that.
thing's like a
Let
toxic
me tell
relationship.
you, I
Listen.
had I had beautiful breasts that I love dearly, and y'all still gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's
it
like
never crossed
it's
my
a
mind to do
bra
it
or a
any other way.
coffin. If I got to choose between
Right.
a bra and a coffin, it's gonna always be
Girl,
the
are you
bra.
serious? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
Heck
so many
no.
things they could do these days. I ain't worried about that.
That's awesome. Like I just and the thing is, I'm looking at you, and honestly, and I don't know how to say this, so I'll just say you just don't look like what I perceive a cancer survivor. You know, when we think of cancer, a lot of people think
Aw,
of cancer, they think of,
right.
frail or, just kind of sickly looking. And if I'm not mistaken, like this journey you just kind of really beat it like last year, right? Or so.
I just got deemed in remission on December 30th.
Okay.
So
Wow.
yeah, and that's why I'm
Wow.
still doing my chemo. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still I mean, obviously I'm done with the breast cancer, but I'm
Hmm.
still very much in my journey. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I
Thank
mean,
you
look,
so
I
much.
just looked at
Yeah.
everything. I'm flipping through your pictures. I'm like, cancer where? Cancer who?
Right.
Like, when did she have this? Like, I'm thinking you're gonna say, yeah, back in 1995, I was diagnosed.
Um,
It's like, oh, during COVID. I'm like, wait a minute, no way is this possible? Because
yeah.
again, well, I guess that tells you that you just don't. There's no look to it. There's no. You
You
can't
never
just
know
wake
what a
up and
person is going through,
yeah.
right? Yeah, you just never know. I remember I used to be, it humbled me a lot,
Hmm.
because I used to go to chemo treatments, and you sit in this, and chemo treatments are everything you think it is. To be honest with you,
Hmm.
you sit
Hmm.
in a big room. It's a bunch of chairs around, and everybody is getting different treatments on a different IV. And most of those people are being wheeled in by nurses' aides or from nursing homes. And then there's me on my iPad
Walking
watching vlogs, right? You know what I'm saying? And it really humbled me because I'm like, wow, like I'm sitting here with people. And I mean, you go every week, so you kind of build relationships and
in.
rapport with people. And then some people stop coming, so you kind of know what the
That
outcome
means.
was.
Hmm.
It's very humbling. Cancer is some shit. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
cancer is some shit, and it's some shit. There's no other way to explain it. I just wanted to make sure, like, I just wanted to not, gloss over like it was easy because it wasn't. It took me a while to get here, but cancer is some shit. Let me tell you, like you said, I know so many people that have either beat it, been diagnosed with it, killed from it. Like cancer,
Absolutely.
it's awful. It is awful, and I mean and once I started talking to my doctor about how it works and how
Mhm.
cancer survives and this and this. It's like, damn, you know what
Ain't
I'm saying?
that
It's like
it's
that's some
happening?
awful shit, right? Like where the hell is it from?
You can
Right,
put a condom on that, get AIDS. You can put a mask on that, get COVID. It ain't really much shit you can do
right.
about this
Can't I mean
cancer. Like
the
if
fact
it's
that
coming,
like cancer is basically just a rogue cell. That's all it is, and it grows 5 times as fast as a normal cell. And
wow.
and it just kind of just wreaks havoc on anything that it attaches itself to. It's awful. It is awful. And it
So
started
when
as just one tiny cell. That's it. For
mm,
whatever reason, that's what it is.
mm, what
Yeah.
was it like finding out you were in remission? How did you like? What was that day like process? I'm sure you know
Oh
the
man.
story.
So okay. So with cancer treatment, a lot of it is it's a guessing game. Your doctor comes up with a cocktail of drugs that he think might help you. You do
Jeez.
them for 3 months, and then you do your scans, which is I do PET scans, which is basically where you lay in this machine, they scan your whole body for cancer cells, right?
Mhm.
So my treatment was working where I would do these different drugs. I would do them for 90 days, and then every 90 days I would have to do a scan. So when it comes up to that 90 days, you stress because you like,
Did this
here we
work?
go
Did that
again.
work?
Right, exactly. Here we go again, right? So I mean, there's been a couple of times where it's like, no, the shit did not work. You know what I'm saying? Like you put your body through all of this shit and it did not work. You know what I'm saying? So I've heard that before. So I went in, and so after that, after a couple of that, you just like I have no expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So when he scheduled my scan, he was like, "You want to do it before Christmas?" I was like, "Hell no!" I was like, "I want to enjoy my holiday."
Birth.
So I was like, "Schedule that shit after Christmas." So
Mm-hmm.
I did it after Christmas. I did it. But the good thing is you get the results like the next day.
Okay.
So I did my scan on the 29th, like my normal shit. And then I had went in the office on the 30th, and he brought in his little assistant, and I was like, okay.
Oh
So
Lord.
he was like, yeah. And I was like, and I've
Oh
been going to them
Lord.
for a year. They put up with all my shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay. And he was like, I have really good news. I was like, what? And he was like, we have been able to contain your cancer. I nearly fell out. Like I nearly passed. I could not stop crying. Like I
Mhm.
cried the whole appointment. After that appointment, I had to go do blood work. I could barely get my arm, the sleeve on my shirt up. Like I'm just crying. The lady was like, "It's fine. It's fine. Calm down. Just relax." They could not take my blood pressure. I'm boo hooing because it had just been such a. I mean, my journey had at that point had been 17 months
Oh,
of
Mm.
just not knowing. I had put my body through so much. I had been through surgery. I had been through chemo, all kinds of shit. And it's like there's no way to know if it's gonna work for you. And
mhm.
so we have finally found something that worked for me. And I couldn't wait to get to the car to call my mom. She was the first person I called. I couldn't wait to give her some good news. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you said you're still taking the chemo pills. Is that like a lifelong like
Yes.
reality that you kind of have to just live with? Like that's something that you have to do for the
Yep.
rest of your life at this point?
Yep, I will have to do it for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
Fortunately, it's a new drug, and that's the thing with cancer. When people donate money to breast cancer or whatever kind of cancer you decide to donate money to, that money is actually working because there are things that come out. There are different drugs that are released sometimes weekly. Like my doctor will tell me about drugs that are on the verge of being approved and things like
Mhm.
that. Like next we're gonna try this. You know what I'm saying? And I've been blessed with great health insurance. That's
Yeah,
another thing
that was my next question. Lord, shoot.
because that red tape with them health insurances, you will die waiting for them to figure some shit out. And I have never had to deal with that with my health insurance. They completely covered my mastectomy. They are going to completely cover my reconstruction surgery, whatever I decide to do.
Wow.
It's yeah, that makes a huge difference as well. But yeah, so the drug that I take now is it's fairly new, but
Hmm.
it's kicking ass. It's doing what I need to do, and it's very little side effects. So yeah, my hair's grown back. I mean, I'm back in business. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So what's your day to day is almost back to where it was. Do you still have like up and down days now?
Sometimes only because I'm uh, I'm still tired some days. I mean, not tired to the point where I can't function, but
Mm-hmm.
tired to the point where you notice like I slept 9 hours last night. Why am I still tired? You know what I'm saying? So I do know my limitations. Sometimes I gotta just chill. Like I know when I'm doing too much. You know what I'm saying? I need to go home and go to bed. You know, so I don't
Hmm.
push myself as much when it comes to physical things. But for the most part, things are back to normal. I can still get up, go to work. I can still do those kind of things. But you know, I definitely put my rest first and foremost to make sure I get my rest. That's first and foremost.
Wow. Um,
Yeah.
sheesh. I'm just like, oh. Um, do you find yourself, I guess, pushing more people to go get your friends and people around you to go get checked more often? Like, was that a thing for you? Because
Yes. I'm like, just go. It's uncomfortable. I'm not gonna sit here and having a mammogram is
it don't
uncomfortable.
listen.
When they smash your shit up in there, it's like, girl, what are you doing? Right? It hurts. And I used to be a large breasted woman, so
Oh,
I know they trying to stuff it all up, girl.
and
Girl.
again, it's just not mammograms in women; it's the men that need to go get their checks and things like that.
Yeah, men have listen. Anybody who has breast tissue can get
Hmm.
breast cancer, so, and men have breast tissue, even though obviously it's not as pronounced. You know what I mean? Obviously, it doesn't
Hmm.
happen as often as it does to to women, but it does happen to men. But you know, even just get checked. Whether it's make sure you're doing your prostate exams. Make sure you're doing
Yeah.
everything. Our people are so behind the curve when it comes to treatment like that, and a lot of times we succumb to cancers that could have been treated. We just
Hmm.
don't get checked,
I
which
think
is
because
awful.
we feel that there has to be a physical sign. You have to see something, or you have to feel something
Right,
for it to be present. And I think that's a big problem with a lot of people. Like you said, the guy not been feeling around or even had the awareness to say something. It may have not
right.
even been a thought of yours. But again, like with other forms of cancer, there's no physical the
Yeah,
sign of a lot of it that you just won't know, or maybe something very minute. Skin cancer, it could be like a little mole. You don't even pay it
this is
attention.
true. But a
Um,
lot of times, by the time it is a physical characteristic, it
it's
is
too
too
late.
late.
Yeah.
It is
How
too
what
late.
stage were you? Did they catch yours? And did you catch it really early or
They caught mine in stage two because it was in two of my lymph nodes. So
okay?
it was caught in stage two. Yeah.
Now, can you explain what's the difference in stage
Okay.
one, two, three, four?
Let me think if I can explain it. Okay. So stage one is just if it's just a contained lump within the breast, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think if it's smaller, it's a certain size. It has to be below where they consider stage one, which is very it's easily treated and that kind of stuff. Stage two is when it's spread to a lymph node
Okay.
under the arm or in the neck. And stage three, I believe, is when it attaches to. I could be wrong. I
Okay.
don't want to say anything
That's
wrong,
okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but I know stage three is
4 is
worse.
usually when it's
Stage four
mhm,
is normally when it's attached to like an organ, like
and
a
there's not
major
much that can
organ,
be
or it's
done at that
spread.
point.
Exactly. It's a whole different disease at that point. Right.
Ugh,
Right.
God.
Yeah.
Well, thank God you found it early. And
Yeah.
again, just checking it and figuring. My girlfriend had kind of went through something like this recently, where she felt something, but thank God hers wasn't cancer. But she felt
Yeah.
something. She immediately went. She was like, "Oh," because
No.
her mom had passed recently from breast cancer, and so she was just a nervous wreck. She was like, I can't go through this." You know what I mean? I just had
Yeah.
a
Just
baby,
go. I
and
mean, if you have the means to go, go.
mhm,
Why
mhm,
not go? You know, and I get it. Nobody likes going to the doctor. Nobody likes being poked. Nobody
mhm.
likes any of that. But go. You talking about the difference between it could be life and death. I don't want my kids to bear. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how important it is. I agree. I definitely agree. I definitely you have to go. We have to do better, people. We definitely do.
Oh my God.
Definitely do. But that's a whole other conversation. But you know what I mean.
Um,
Seriously.
if you could pinpoint, like, what was has been the hardest, like the physical, the emotional, what is the hardest part of dealing with
Um,
this sick disease?
the hardest part was just I think it's more mental. The physical
Hmm.
stuff I can handle.
Wow.
But the mental part of it, because it can take you out. So
Hmm.
you know, I've had my days where it's like I remember one time, I had a whole tantrum about like I just want to live. Like I really
Hmm.
did. Like I was really in my head about a lot of different things, and it was just like I got to pull myself out of this. Because if mentally I can't get past it, there's no way physically I can fight it. That was tough. And I mean, I've been a very independent, take care of business, you know what I'm saying, handle business kind of person. Nothing
Hmm.
ever shook me. This needed to happen because this really changed a lot of things for me for the better, to be honest with you. To be
Wow.
perfectly honest with you, this definitely needs to go down. But the mental part of it is tough. It's tough, and I feel like if you don't have the right people around you, because you
Hmm.
need help. There's nothing you can't do. There's no way you could do this alone. It's not
Mm.
possible. So if you don't have the right people around you, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because you're gonna need help. You are.
Have you found that your sons are more clingy now since you're better, or do they like want to love up on mom all the time or make
They
sure you're okay?
are, and it's so funny. Like I just tease them all the time. I'm just like, get out of my room. Like I'm fine. Like they so funny, but yeah, they've tried to
The
cook
boy's
me,
nature.
girl. They have tried to cook.
Mm, mm.
Bless their hearts.
They
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
can
They
yum.
really, they really like this is disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Like they have really tried, but me,
That's
and I
good.
mean, like from my cousins to my family has really stepped up for me, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And it's unfortunate that sometimes it takes a tragedy to bring people together,
Mhm.
but eh, that's what happens sometimes. But they love on me more than I ever thought they ever would, and I'm so blessed. That's all I can say. But yes, my kids are clingy as
Mm.
fuck.
That's good though.
Like I can't leave the
A
house.
blessing that you're around for them to be clingy to, and I mean, I think that's natural for anyone to, if
Yeah,
they
yeah.
face
I
Right.
almost
give them
losing
shit, but
Right.
I
someone
get it.
to.
You know what I'm saying? I give them shit, but I get why. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying?
Mhm. That's boys, though, and it's boys loving on their mama. You know, that's just how that is. We
That's
talked
all.
about that a little bit before. That's just what they are. That's hey, listen,
It's true.
accept it,
You're
love
right.
it, and just be happy that you're here to revel in it. So,
Yeah, definitely, definitely. We spend time together. At first, they didn't want to be around me. Now it's, oh, you want to watch a movie? Like, oh, y'all want to watch a movie now? You know what I'm saying? When I didn't get cancer. Now y'all want to watch a movie? You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
hmm
we have big time jokes about it. That's all you can do. That's all you can
Yeah.
do.
Perspective is a motherfucker.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Because they
Perspective
was
is a
not messing with me
motherfucker.
before. Now they can't get
Yeah.
enough of me. So yeah, they funny as
Yeah.
hell. They are
And
Because I
listen,
think
hilarious.
go ahead, baby.
children just don't understand how final life is, like how short it is. They
Amen.
think they look at it like
Amen.
it lasts forever.
It's
Because I
infinite.
remember at
Right.
2119 death. What is that? That's so down, like that's
hmm
80 years from now.
Now, right,
And
I'm
to
gonna
Right.
live to
see
be.
it that
Everybody
close,
lives to be 100. Let
mm,
kids tell it. So,
yeah, you
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
to see it right there in your face, and it's the person who you love most on the planet Earth.
Right.
That's a whole different perspective, though.
Yeah,
hmm
that's very true. That is very true. I mean, with my kids, they hadn't experienced much death.
hmm
Hmm.
So for them, it's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have too much experience with that. Like they didn't lose a whole lot of people close to them. And that was the same with me. Like I didn't lose anybody really close to me till I was like an adult.
hmm
So and by that time it was like I didn't really know how to process it. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
yeah, kids they definitely don't. You're right. I think with kids the concept of time is so different for a child
Right.
than it is
Yeah.
for an adult. You know?
hmm
So yeah, I definitely agree with that. 100%.
Now you talk about. I heard you say brunch the day that you got your results. You talk about your girlfriends. Did they have like? Were they very have a lot of questions? I know me. I'm that girlfriend. That's like, girl. So what was this like? Who was that like?
Girl,
Or were they just kind of scared? Or how was that like with your friends?
no,
Because
I mean
people
I've
talk about
always been.
family, but friends become family sometimes.
Yeah, and I mean with I mean I'm gonna be honest with you. I have girlfriends that I've been friends with since I turned 42 today. That I've been friends since I was 12. So
hmm
we've been through everything
Yeah.
together. I mean I was letting them feel my lump. Like
Oh.
yeah, look, this what it felt. This what it felt like. You know what I'm saying? Like I was that open with it. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, we talked about everything, everything. Like pictures. I showed them everything,
hmm
everything. I don't have anything to hide. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm not ashamed of any part. Not one part of my journey am I ashamed of.
I just love that you're so open to share it because a lot of people, it is, something that they feel it's an embarrassment, to have to go through illness of any kind. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, yeah,
something that I could have done, or I should have been eating this, or I needed to read this more, or you know what I mean? Or I should have worked out them extra 3 days a
right.
week. You know what I mean? And there's guilt in a lot of places, and people just don't want to share it with people. So I definitely applaud you for just even talking about it and joining us to speak about it, and
Oh,
hopefully
thank
spreading it to
you,
everybody else. You know,
thank you.
yeah,
Of
I definitely
course.
applaud that. We are getting close to the end of the show. I
Wow, that was
think
fast.
I,
Yeah.
listen, it
Yeah.
goes
Go
when
by
it's a good
fast.
when you spreading goodness around. It goes, baby.
Oh,
But I have to. We kind of got our. I have to wrap up a little early today, but
okay.
understand that it's your birthday, and we
Yes.
can't give you a birthday cake, but we had
Uh
something
oh.
special for you. Um,
Oh, shucks.
so if you could, hopefully we can get it going soon. If you could just take a look, give us a second to get it together.
Okay.
Hopefully we can get this together and hope you enjoy it and enjoy your birthday because again, we're celebrating your life, sis. And that's all we wanted to
Thank
do here.
you.
So
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
if Devon can get that going, that would be amazing.
Okay.
Hopefully, but if not, we can just chill for a second. So
Happy birthday, Barry. It is your girl, Keyshawn. I just wanted to take a moment to wish you the very best birthday that God has for you. I pray that 2021 comes in and shows out for you, because if anyone deserves it, it is you. I can't wait for this pandemic to end so that we can go have some drinks and catch up. We have so much to talk about. And of course, the drinks will be on me. So live it up, keep shining, and we will keep watching. Love you.
Happy birthday, Barry.
Yeah, it's playing on the live feed.
So it's playing on the live feed.
Okay.
You'll get to see all of the beautiful messages. You have a bunch of beautiful messages. I hear of it.
Oh, thank you.
No. I need you to see some of these people, because there's some amazing folks for you, that people love you, and people.
You are amazing. I'm happy to celebrate you today. I have seen you grow, the strength that you have. I love the way you do not take no ever for the final answer. I love the drive, the fight in you. I just want to say happy birthday and have an amazing year. Love you.
Hi, Barry. Just wishing you a happy birthday. I know you're surprised. Surprise! I love you and I miss you, and I wish you the best of many more years to come.
Happy birthday from scenic Dallas Airport.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Barry. Love you.
Happy birthday, Barry. Here's to almost 30 so years of friendship. 2020 was rough for both of us for some of the same reasons, some for different, but we pushed through. Here's to 2021 being much better for both of us. I love you. Take care. Happy birthday. Let's celebrate.
Hey, happy birthday. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope it was filled with nothing but love and joy. Wish we could have snow tubed this weekend, but it's a global pandemic. It is what it is. You know I love you. Can't wait to see you whenever that's going to be. But when we get together, I know it's going to be a funky good time. Love you lots. Happy birthday again.
Yo, I heard it's your birthday, so I'm gonna make a fool of myself for you. Ready? Here we go. I said stomp your foot and wiggle your tail. It's your birthday, it's your birthday. I said stomp your foot and wiggle your tail. It's your birthday, it's your birthday. Yo, it's 2021, a birthday commemoration. I really wanna show you my appreciation as a lady. Your qualities are sackable, smart, funny, beauty unmatchable, character and dignity. I dig the fact that you're friends with me. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mom. I love you so much.
Just want to say happy birthday, you know, man, to the greatest mom ever.
It was the kids, y'all. I'm sorry.
Y'all better stop now, because I don't hear that. I got things to do.
It was my big head kids. As soon as I saw them. Oh my God.
You are so blessed.
Okay,
you are
I'm
so
better.
loved. You are so loved. You are so blessed. And clearly a blessing to a lot of people. Oh,
Thank you.
Chappie.
Oh, child. It was
Look,
the
Vic,
kids.
we'll teach you about the wave later.
They
You see the
always
girl,
get you.
the wave
Right.
means don't let the tears
Oh, yeah.
drop. That's how you do it.
Do they make them go back up? Like,
Yep. Yeah,
Right.
that's that.
Oh my God. That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Again, we'll get you the whole video so you can take a look at it, hear everything, and make sure we get that to you, because there's some beautiful messages in there. You definitely got to see the performance.
Yes.
We
Thank
want to
you.
thank you for sharing your journey and sharing your story for us. with us and
Sure.
everyone else. And just continue to spread your word and spread your truth and take it day by day and just enjoy it. You know what I mean? Enjoy everything
Yes,
that you
ma'am.
have right now. So
Absolutely.
I gotta get out of here a little early, but you know how it goes. Again, thank you for coming by. Illogically
Thank you
speaking.
for having me. Thank you for having me. It was great meeting you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Enjoy
More than
your
welcome.
birthday, Vic.
You
Enjoy
too.
yours tomorrow.
Happy birthday tomorrow, Vic.
Fullest.
You do the same.
All of them
1999.
Bye.
old. Have a great day, guys. We'll see